Right, arpeggios. Okay, so the main way that rock guitarists play arpeggios is with sweep picking. So sometimes I don't love sweep picking. I just some aspects of it just kind of bug me. I always try to make it be a certain rhythm, and it just doesn't work out. It just kind of the very nature of sweep picking is it kind of just glides over top of stuff. So when I do arpeggios these days, I'll use picking fingers. I just like how it sounds better. Right, so using this diminished guy as an example. So I'm at 4th fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, and then 4th fret for B diminished. Or 7th actually. Or maybe it's G sharp diminished 7th. Or D diminished 7th. Nobody knows. Any note can be the root with this. Anyway, downstroke. So I'm picking that G sharp note and pulling off. And then I'm going with an upstroke sweep, sorry, for the B string, another upstroke sweep for the G string. Now, to ascend again on the B string, I'm going to use my middle finger and pluck that, and then 3rd finger to pluck the high E. I like the sound of it. Actually, it's different. It's just kind of a different flavor. It's punctuated. You know, something like Yngwie Malmsteen's Demon Driver works perfectly. Now that's not how Yngwie plays it, but that's how I play it. That's it's fun and it's easy to control the rhythm, and I can learn a piece of his music or whatever, and then using that technique I can kind of apply it to other things. One other thing that was real obvious to me, like a long time ago, I got like a Hal Leonard transcription book for Yngwie Malmsteen's Trilogy, and of course went right to Trilogy Suite to check that sucker out, and then what do I see but right? So I've got basically these triads that ascend, so sweeping those that made zero sense to me. So I just immediately, even back then, like just hybrid pick that sucker, and it worked out pretty good. I mean, I didn't realize until years later everybody else was playing like but still, even doing it a 2-string version, I prefer to just hybrid pick that. Just really kind of meaty. It's got a kind of a strong rhythmic feel to it. I used to try when I was working on a double escape. I try to do that with alternate picking, and just for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to do it. So hybrid picking is kind of my solution to that double escape. If you're into the Troy Grady cracking the code naming convention for things. I really put a lot of time and energy into trying to learn how to alternate pick everything, and I don't know, I just can't do it. I'm fairly dense though, so I'm sure I'm missing something really obvious. In the meantime, though, being able to do this means that I can play a whole bunch of music that I wouldn't normally be able to play otherwise. You know, for instance, Too Many Notes by Steve Morse. You know, if you sweep it, it doesn't sound right. You know, it's this thing where you kind of got to come back, and it just ends up being jerky. So, right, that works out pretty good. That little bit there, that works out good too. So this thing here, that's the same as what we did with this diminished thing. So basically, pick that, downstroke that first bottom note there on the high E string, and then I guess it's top note actually if you're going in pitch, and then pull off, and then upstroke sweep for the next two, and then basically pluck back. Now you're not going to fool anybody into believing that you're hybrid picking this, and the quality is it's not as good as Steve Morse when he plays it, or Andy Wood, or you know any of the Troy Grady or any of those guys when they alternate pick it and it's just perfect or whatever. But I would still like to be able to play the song. The notes sound really cool to me, so this gets me playing at a pretty decent clip, and it sounds pretty okay. So I mean, it's passable. And I mean, with a bit of cleaning, it could probably be perfected and sped up pretty good. So this little bit. Whoops. Okay, yeah. So I'm doing a pluck, pull off, fifth to the first fret, and then down, up on the B string. So ending on an upstroke, and then grabbing that, plucking that G note and pulling off. So that same thing could be applied to So, I mean, the problem there, of course, is that fatigue does set in after a bit, so a bit of practice and refinement required. But, I mean, if you're having troubles playing that particular little bit, like how everybody else plays it, then give it a whirl. That hybrid pluck, it's no joke. Fingers work. So. So definitely getting the transition between the arpeggios and that little, that's a trick, like you gotta spend some time with the metronome and smooth that out. Also, I find that as I get more tired, I get more aggressive, and I tend to really just grab more of the string, and that's a bad thing. I think you just want to glance the string with your plucking finger. The next bit, this is a cool thing. four string arpeggio sequence, and again, Steve Morse alternate picks the whole dang thing. That's because he's awesome. So I basically go down, up. That's called, and then I use my middle finger to pluck the next one, and then third finger to pluck the next one. Tom Gilroy calls that dumb, and it's awesome. I'm grateful for him to show me that. I think this is the one example of double escape that I actually can do. There we go. So, I mean, again, we're not fooling anybody with our cheap parlor tricks here, but... It gets you by, gets you playing the piece, and it works out not too bad. That's hybrid picking with arpeggios. I think messing around with this first little hunk of Too Many Notes, maybe you know, Demon Driver by Yngwie. You know, Trilogy Suite. And maybe even, you know, Rising Forth. You know, all those, you know, and in conjunction with just mess around with arpeggios. It's a lot of fun, and I think that you end up with quite a vocabulary if left to your own devices long enough. All right, so I hope that helps. Have fun. Don't hurt nobody.